Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. How is everyone? Or those of you that are watching. Um, I wanna talk about an experience that I had recently. So I usually don't debate. Never really been good at like actual physical or in-person debates. It's just not been my thing. But in my desire to go out now and to help people, or not help, but to show people that what I know and have them become deeper if they're interested in understanding what I understand. I realize that I have to interact with the public and interact with people. So yesterday, I was able to catch Sinetta TV live, which was kind of nice because I typically go to bed early and I wake up early because I do my meditations and my workout usually around 3 to 3:30, 4 o'clock hour. And then I head off to work. So catching Sinetta was like not something that's happened previously, and then I haven't been like really trying to do it intensely until the last week or so. But I just so happened to do it last night, and I was in the chat room, and it was just interesting. And I made a few comments. Now, I've studied history. I've studied a lot. The last maybe 2 or 3 years, my study habits haven't been as disciplined as they have in the past. I've done my fair share of information gathering, and so I got into a conversation with a few people on the chat room last night, and it was just interesting. It was some brother, Asiatic black man, 19, that was asking about Akhenaten and Amenhotep III and Hatshepsut, and well, a few of those other brothers and sisters in the 18th dynasty. And then he was trying to relate some of the things that they were doing has to have meaning in life now that should be admired, adulated, and looked at as if though those actions have purpose and meaning, and by understanding intellectually their significance, it can give purpose and drive to your life, or to the lives of those that understand their significance. And that's typically a conversation people will have when they're trying to make informational connections. So like we were discussing some things, and I was trying to explain that ultimately the 18th dynasty was all about reestablishing Kemetic rule, and then Akhenaten was more than likely a plant, or either a plant or he went crazy, or he was interested in weakening Kemet's world military power, because when you look at his actions, that's exactly what he did. But I realized, like, I'm not really interested in gathering information on history any longer. That is important at a certain stage of development, but the goal should be merging your consciousness with the divine essence within. Now, that does take a level and degree of information gathering to kind of get past those belief systems that you have in place that block you from knowing and understanding that the divine is within and how to access it, especially coming from a Western context in which life seems to be all about the acquisition of material goods and consuming material goods and gathering things to yourself to give you meaning. And so there is a level of information gathering to kind of break through those belief systems. But at a certain point, it stops. And I tried to make the comments last night, because after a while the information or the debate, it turned into a debate. I tried to keep it away from it, but after a while I had to say something that was extremely definitive. Prior to 10,000 BC, you have nothing but people of African descent really on the planet. Like in the European steppes, you have the formation of the Caucasian happening, and the Asian and Eurasian happening. But what you have most definitely on the planet is people of African descent all over the world who built all different amazing civilizations back then, whose civilizations had their mystical sciences, whose civilization just had their civilizing sciences. And so when you put it in that perspective, it just kills the conversation, because all people had their information come from an African-derived source. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what country. At a certain point in time, everything traces back to Africa. Everything traces back to melanated people. That's just the bottom line. So we need to just kind of, but people are more interested in like saying that it comes from a particular region. This brother in particular wanted us to acknowledge the Afro-Arabian influence on world history and knowledge, and it would have been cool just to say, okay, I acknowledge it, and then move on beyond that. But for some reason they put an importance on it, and he started quoting these numbers of 19 degrees and 30 degrees and things like that. And I won't deny that our ancestors built these structures in relationship to something. Perhaps they're energy generators, perhaps being in certain spots at certain times allowed you to gain the benefits of the construction of those structures. But in truth, that is just all well and good. Just leave it alone. It doesn't, and I'm gonna go to my job the next day. I'm gonna go interact with my family after this. Like, it doesn't really have much significance on life in general. I'm more interested in life-preserving sciences in the current day, current modern time era. I am more interested in how do I, in my own personal current life, manifest the divine spark within and bring it to the outer world. That's my drive. That's what keeps me up at night, so to speak. That's what wakes me up in the morning. Like, that is what I'm interested in. Like, arguments and debates on history are good, and they have their place, especially when it comes to trying to rule people, when you bring it to that sphere of awareness. And so there are a lot of people that operate in relationship to trying to dismantle, debunk, and reestablish and walk on the foundation of truth in those fields. And my thing is, let them. I am kind of here to assist and guide brothers and sisters looking to establish a practice which will help manifest the divine essence within. And that's essentially meditation. So, if any conversation that I engage in will always lead back to meditation. Peace.